On the 20th of April, we flew from Groningen in the Netherlands to Rzeszów near the border with Ukraine. We flew for the Dutch organization Give Care. This is a humanitarian organization founded to support Ukraine during this war. The aircraft was mostly filled with medical aid, such as first aid kits, crates, sterile needles, a special brancard, disinfectants and more. We also transported stuffed animals, toys and games for the children affected by the war, as well as other items which are badly needed in the affected areas. As we were flying, the weather deteriorated and we decided to divert to Münster-Osnabrück airport in Germany. After staying the night in Germany, the next day we flew to Karlovy Vary in the Czech Republic. We arrived late in the afternoon in Karlovy Vary, and because the other airports we planned to go to were closing early, we decided to stay the night there. Karlovy Vary is a beautiful spa village in the Czech Republic. We then landed at Zeline airport in Slovakia. Despite there being a large number of Russia supporters in Slovakia, The airport workers all thanked us for the work that we were doing for Ukraine. Our approach into Rzeszów Airport was different from anything we'd seen before on this trip. There were a dozen of Patriot air defense systems next to the runway, and the apron was full of military aircraft. It was very obvious that this airport was being used to transport military goods to Ukraine. From Rzeszów, we and our goods were picked up by car and driven to the border with Ukraine. After waiting at the Polish-Ukrainian border for roughly 4 hours, we were cleared to enter Ukraine. We entered the border and were driving to Lviv. What was instantly obvious is that life was continuing in this part of Ukraine. While we were in the most westward part of Ukraine, where the war is least visible, you could still see the scars. There were people on mountain bikes, people hitchhiking, and people working in the field. Every few hundred meters there were road signs calling to join the Ukrainian army. What surprised us was the resilience of the Ukrainian people. The roads in the city were well maintained, the parks were clean, electricity and water were running, and people were placing new road signs. It was easy to forget that we were in a country that was at war. But then you see the air raid alerts, and you check the app to see that there are currently missile attacks in Ukraine. As we are now in Ukraine, due to security concerns, most of the images in the rest of the video will be blurred. During the first stop, we delivered most of the goods to the organization Road of Life. We also checked out a workshop where they are going to modify most of the cars that are being donated. In the end, we delivered a lot of humanitarian and medical aid, which was picked up straight away by the organization Road of Life and distributed to parts of Ukraine where they are needed the most. We then went to a second workplace in Lviv. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the work that goes on in this workplace, I cannot show images or videos. We then went for dinner with the entire Give Care team in the old city center of Lviv. The old city center of Lviv is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. Its interesting architecture has been influenced by its rich history. As all the cars we'd driven into Ukraine with are now donated, we were picked up by a van to be driven across the border of Ukraine back to Poland. As we arrived in Poland very late, we stayed the night in a hotel, and the next morning we flew back to the Netherlands. We would like to thank all our sponsors for this flight. Without each and every sponsor, this flight wouldn't have been possible. We'd like to thank Master Cargo, Dutch Global Logistics, Intramat Group, and Kavel 10. Thank you very much for all your support.